What is up, everybody? We had WWE's Friday Night Smackdown today, and this was the go-home episode before WWE's most exciting event of the year, right before the Royal Rumble. So in this video, we're going to break down some of the important things that happened on this SmackDown, how some of these things may impact future storylines, where we think WWE is going, how some of this may bleed into the Royal Rumble, and how this affects things as we go down the road to WrestleMania. So let's get into it. This is WWE Smackdown Explained. I'm assuming you're a fan of wrestling because you're already here. You should hit that subscribe button. Come check me out. I try to post as much as I can on this channel, sometimes every day. And things are about to get really exciting in wrestling. So come check out some of this content. I guarantee you're going to find something you like. Hit that subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Now let's talk wrestling. Look, the Royal Rumble's happening tomorrow as I record this. Of course, everyone comes out today and they talk about how they're going to win the Royal Rumble, right? We had Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Julia, Kiana James, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, the Judgment Day. Those are only the women. All of them came out to say that they are going to win the Royal Rumble tomorrow. And I don't know how that works because there can only be one winner. So apparently 10 women declared themselves a winner tonight. It's going to be an interesting show tomorrow. If you've seen my predictions video, I don't think any of these women are winning tomorrow. I think we're getting Bianca Belair back. I think Bianca Belair is going to win the Royal Rumble and go after Jade, which makes something very interesting about tonight's show because we did have Jordynne Grace being one of these people that said that they were going to win the Royal Rumble. She said she was going to win the Royal Rumble and she was going to go after Jade Cargill. And then Jade just destroyed her in the back. She attacked her. They started to brawl. We're definitely going to get something between these two women. We're definitely going to get some sort of program with them. A couple of matches perhaps, right? Some storyline. I don't think that this is going to bleed into WrestleMania at all. I do think whether Bianca wins it or not, the match that Jade is getting at WrestleMania for her title is going to be against Bianca Belair. So this Jordynne Grace storyline is just something to keep her busy in the meantime, something to get us in between the Rumble and WrestleMania so that Jade is still feuding with someone until Bianca officially goes one-on-one against Jade. Do I want a triple threat match? Yes. I want every WrestleMania match to be a triple threat match. Apparently, that's an unpopular opinion, but I think triple threat matches are super exciting. I would love this to be a triple threat match. I do think that Drew McIntyre's title match will be a triple threat match. Hell, give me CM Punk defending in a triple threat match as well. Give me Stephanie Vaquer also. Just give me all of them be triple threat matches. I know that people don't like that, but I think it's more exciting. But yeah, anyway, Jordynne Grace, Jade Cargill, definitely going to have some sort of program together, definitely entering some sort of feud, but I don't think it's necessarily going to lead to anything. I don't think this means the title's going to change. I don't think that this is going to be the WrestleMania match because, like I said, Bianca Belair will be the person challenging Jade for her title. Like I mentioned, we had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss also saying they were going to win the Rumble. They got interrupted by the Judgment Day. So then they had a match. So it was Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Raquel Rodriguez was ringside, getting involved several times in the match, of course. And then she got interrupted by Stephanie Vaquer. So Stephanie Vaquer was there. She took out Raquel Rodriguez. It's interesting that Stephanie Vaquer is there because Monday Night Raw isn't in Saudi. She doesn't have a match at the Rumble. So was she really only in Saudi for this moment just to take out Raquel Rodriguez for those 10 seconds and then that's it? I don't know. I feel like maybe we're going to get some sort of involvement from Stephanie Vaquer at the Rumble. Maybe that's what's going to lead to Raquel Rodriguez being eliminated after just being a monster and take out everyone. I found it very interesting that Stephanie Vaquer is there because otherwise, she flew, 12 hours for a quick 30 seconds being involved in a match? I don't know. Something tells me something else is going to happen tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, these two definitely aren't done feuding. They have that street match on Monday, a Philadelphia street match. What a coincidence. They're in Philadelphia on Monday. Wow, it would have been weird if they would have had a Philadelphia street match while in like Los Angeles, but they're not. They're in Philly. Poof, Philadelphia street match. Um, I don't know. I keep thinking that Raquel Rodriguez is going to beat Stephanie Vaquer for her title. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. I think that Raquel Rodriguez deserves it. I think she's earned it. She had a hell of a 2025. What has passed of 2026 also, she's been performing. She's been there week after week. I like this feud between both of these women, between both of these superstars. I do. I actually would want Raquel Rodriguez to be Stephanie Vaquer. As much as I love Stephanie Vaquer, I just think it makes for a lot more of an exciting story, right? Because a lot of people are thinking that Liv Morgan's going to win the Rumble. I do think that Liv Morgan could, if not win the Rumble, win the Chamber. And that would make for a much more compelling story, right? Bianca Belair wins the Rumble. She challenges Jade. Raquel Rodriguez beats Stephanie Vaquer for her title. Liv Morgan then wins the Chamber and has no choice but to challenge Raquel Rodriguez for her title. And then we can maybe work out the Judgment Day breaking up. If not, we can work out some sort of passive-aggressive story between Raquel and Liv Morgan. There's just a lot more you can do, I think, with Raquel Rodriguez winning this title. So, yeah, they're not done. They're going to have a match on Monday. And I don't know if I want or if I'm predicting, but Raquel Rodriguez to win that match. Anyway, this tag team match, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss won. Alexa Bliss did a Sister Abigail DDT on, was it on Liv Morgan or Roxanne? No, it was on Roxanne Perez. She did a Sister Abigail DDT on Roxanne Perez. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte Flair and Alexa win this match. Also, with the tag teams, I just want women's TLC. I don't think WWE is going to give it to me anymore, but I would love for that to be the WrestleMania match. Put all of these women in a TLC matches. The amount of star power in a tag team match, it does mean that it takes away a lot of these women from the main event scene, but only a couple can be in it, so we'll see. Whole Carmelo Hayes and Miz thing. Carmelo Hayes, Miz, Ilya Dragunov. So Ilya Dragunov and The Miz ran into each other backstage. The Miz essentially told Ilya that, hey, I only interfered in the match because Carmelo Hayes asked me to, right? He pulled me aside and he's like, I can't beat Ilya Dragunov. Can you help me out in this match? I don't know if Ilya Dragunov actually believed The Miz in that whole thing, which would be a really stupid thing to do, but Carmelo Hayes later went up to Ilya and he's like, hey, I heard what Miz was telling you. You know that's a lie, right? But Ilya Dragunov wasn't convinced that it was a lie. I don't know. This story is a little bit convoluted. I do feel like WWE will eventually give us Carmelo Hayes versus The Miz. Again, I don't care about that anymore. I think that they think we care a lot more than we do. I'm over it. I could care less. I couldn't care less. I even say it properly. I couldn't care less about The Miz versus Carmelo Hayes. This Ilya Dragunov versus Miz match tonight, though, The Miz looked good, man. I mean, it's not a surprise because The Miz is a great superstar. The Miz is a staple. He is a veteran. He's been here. He's done this. Of course, The Miz is a great wrestler, as much as some people would love to say that he's not. He's one of those wrestlers that we're going to look back on his career and we're going to be like, we did not appreciate him while he was here. So, yes, The Miz, great match against Ilya Dragunov. Also, Ilya Dragunov can make anyone look good, and so can The Miz. So, of course, both of them made each other look good. Ilya Dragunov won this match. I did think that maybe Carmelo Hayes would come out at some point to try to help Ilya Dragunov and accidentally cost Ilya Dragunov the match. That didn't happen. I'm okay with the fact that didn't happen. Ilya Dragunov did say that after he was done with The Miz, he was going back to Carmelo Hayes to challenge for the U.S. title. He's like, I'm not asking, I'm just taking. So we're going to get that eventually again. I have no issues with that. Speaking of Carmelo Hayes, he had the open challenge. Who answered the open challenge? It was Rey Fenix. Of course, Carmelo Hayes won. Rey Fenix can't buy a win. I do feel like WWE has really been disrespecting this dude. Rey Fenix is such a great luchador, man. As much as I love Penta, and I do love Penta, and listen, Penta is on a whole nother level, but Rey Fenix's ring work is way beyond Penta. Listen, I'm going to say something controversial, maybe. I don't know if it's controversial. In ring, Rey Fenix, better than Rey Mysterio. And this dude deserves better, and he just can't buy a win. So I really hope that they figure something out for Rey Fenix, even if it means putting the Lucha Brothers back together and having them go after the tag team titles. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't hate that. At least for a bit, at least while we figure out something else to do with Rey Fenix. But yeah, Elliot or Carmelo Hayes, he beat Rey. He retains. We move on. Axiom versus Johnny Gargano, I think is over. I think it's done. I really hope it's done. I've been saying for weeks now that I don't care about this feud. I don't care about these two guys going up against each other time and time again. Now that Tommaso Ciampa's gone, I don't know if we're just buying time until Johnny Gargano also leaves and joins Tommaso Ciampa at AEW. Maybe that's the move for Johnny Gargano. I wouldn't blame him, honestly, but WWE needs to figure out something for him to do in this solo role that he's now in. Hell, have him beat Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title. Have him win that title and do something with it. I don't know. I do like Johnny Gargano as a wrestler. I think he's a great in-ring performer. I do not like the storyline with Axiom. I also like Axiom. I think he's great too, but I don't like the storyline with Axiom. I hope it's over. I'm glad it's over. Let's figure something else to do with these two guys. Maybe now Axiom and Nathan Frazier can go back to the tag team scene. Maybe now that the MFTs have the tag team titles, we can open it up to other tag teams and Fraxium can challenge for that again. But we really got to figure out something else for Johnny Gargano. Now that I say that, please WWE, I do not want Johnny Gargano and Rey Fenix to team up and be a tag team together. I know they're both tag team guys in your eyes. No, we don't want that. Don't even think about it, WWE. Don't you think about it. Our main event was a 4-on-4 match between all four members of the Vision. So Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory versus Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso. How this match happened was, like I mentioned, everyone came out to declare themselves the winners of the Royal Rumble. So Cody Rhodes started the show. He came out, told everyone that he was going to win the Royal Rumble. The crowd booed, by the way. Everyone booed when he said he was going to win the Royal Rumble. But then he's like, maybe I'll face Sami Zayn after he beats Drew McIntyre. And then everybody cheered because everybody loves Sami in Saudi. He was then interrupted by, it was Randy Orton first. So Randy Orton came out. He interrupted him. He's like, Cody, you know I love you. You know you're like a brother to me. I am going to win the Royal Rumble. And I'm going to go on to challenge Drew McIntyre or Sami Zayn for that title. So again, everybody's winning the Rumble. I don't know how it's going to happen. They were then interrupted by Jey Uso. He came out and he's like, I've won the Royal Rumble before, Oos. Yeet. I'm going to do it again, Oos. Yeet. I've been a world champion before, Oos. Yeet. I'm going to be a world champion again, Oos. Yeet. So again, Jey Uso's also winning the Rumble. He was then interrupted by Sami Zayn being like, everyone's talking about challenging Drew McIntyre, but I'm actually going to beat Drew McIntyre. I'm going to be the champion. The whole crowd cheered. The crowd was awesome for Randy's theme. The crowd was awesome for Jey Uso's theme. The crowd was awesome when Sami Zayn came out. I did feel like there were pockets of tonight where the crowd was kind of dead. Like that Carmelo Hayes versus Rey Fenix match. They were pretty quiet for that match. So, listen, I know that we love to glaze non-American crowds, but there were pieces of tonight where that crowd was not having it. Just saying. Anyway, they were then all interrupted by the Vision, right? Paul Heyman was like, you guys are all talking about winning, but you guys aren't a part of the Vision. Essentially being like, someone in the Vision's going to win. I think he might have just said Braun Breaker's going to win because that's their plan, right? Their plan is to get Braun Breaker over and have Braun Breaker win. Also, there was like, when Axiom came out, his nameplate actually said Braun Breaker #1 entrant. So I don't know if that's a spoiler for tomorrow. I don't know if Braun Breaker is coming out at #1, but they might have just been testing stuff. I don't know. Maybe a spoiler, maybe not. Maybe they'll change it now that they accidentally spoiled it. I don't care either way. So anyway, this was the main event, 4-on-4 match. It ended in a disqualification. Drew McIntyre came out. He hit Sami. Then Jacob Fatu came out. He attacked Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes then attacked Jacob Fatu. Then Drew McIntyre attacked Cody Rhodes. And Sami Zayn attacked Drew McIntyre. He was standing tall. Then Cody Rhodes stood up and got in Sami Zayn's face. And then both of them got the living lights speared out of them by Braun Breaker. So Braun Breaker ends the show standing tall. I don't know if that means that Braun's going to win tomorrow. Probably not. Whoever stands tall doesn't win the next day. So do with that as what you will, right? Ultimately, this is just a chance for everyone to come out and throw each other over the top rope. There was a lot of throwing people out of the top rope during this main event. I don't know. It's really hard for anyone to believe that Sami Zayn is going to beat Drew McIntyre when you keep injecting Jacob Fatu into this, right? You keep crossing paths between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. It makes you believe that they're going to have something at least before WrestleMania. And that, I mean, I guess it can happen without the world title, without the Undisputed title, but like, what's the point at that case, right? So WWE just keeps projecting that Sami Zayn isn't going to beat Drew McIntyre. I think, he's 13-0 or 0-13 against Drew McIntyre. He's faced him 13 times. He's never won. Longer storytelling, maybe. I feel like maybe this is a way of having Sami Zayn try to get over that hurdle, right? Kind of like his Moby Dick, right? Like the one that got away is Drew McIntyre. Maybe that's something that we work towards for next WrestleMania, the one that is at Saudi, kind of send people home happy with Sami Zayn winning the big one, possibly from Drew McIntyre, whether he loses it between then or not. I don't know what to make from this, honestly, but I do think that ultimately the main event at WrestleMania for the Undisputed Championship, or a main event at WrestleMania, will be Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. So I know Sami Zayn's not winning. Maybe Braun Breaker will win the Royal Rumble. That's interesting too. There's a lot going on here. All I know is that I'm really excited for tomorrow. Nick Aldis had the Tumblr going backstage with the numbers, right, for the Royal Rumble. But I think I only saw Damian Priest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I only saw Damian Priest go reach in there, pick out a ball. Of course, R-Truth and Nick Aldis made a ball joke. Ha, 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 ha. Right, but I think he was the only one that took out a number. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any other person take a number. They didn't show what Damian Priest's number was. Of course, he wasn't happy with his number. R-Truth was like, oh, you can take another one. Nick Aldis was like, no, you can't. I don't know. Maybe he's number 2. But he, as far as I can tell, he was the only one who took a number. Weird. There was also a segment between AJ Styles and Gunther. AJ Styles came out to cut a promo talking about how everyone's worried about him retiring at the Rumble. But don't worry, I'm going to beat Gunther, and then we're going to go on an AJ Styles retirement tour together. Gunther then interrupted that. He's like, listen, say bye to your fans now. You're gone. I'm going to beat you tomorrow, and that's your career. I do think that Gunther is going to win that match. I do think that this is the last we will see from AJ Styles in a WWE ring. He might, there's a small chance he'll go to AEW. I don't think that that's what's happening, but I do think that he is going to go on one last run on TNA, maybe wrestle the rest of 2025 or 2026 on TNA, in TNA, and call it a career, right, in the place that AJ Styles built. So yeah, I do think Gunther is going to retire AJ Styles tomorrow. There was also a video from Solo Sikoa and the MFTs, essentially just making fun of Bo. He called out Bo too. He wasn't like Uncle Howdy. He's like, this is a video for Bo. He basically said, I took everything that's yours. I have your titles. I have your lantern. This is over. I win. That video, I like the way they did it because that video was immediately interrupted by a Wyatt 6 video where Bo Dallas, again, he wasn't dressed as Howdy. He was Bo, talked directly to Solo Sikoa, and he's like, you think you've won? No. If anything, you've opened up something inside me. I will get back what is mine, and I will teach you a lesson for being so greedy. So I like this. I hope we get a darker, more twisted Wyatt 6 out of this. I just want a match between Solo and Uncle Howdy. That's all I want. you know what? I don't even want it to be Uncle Howdy. I want it to be Solo Sikoa versus Bo Dallas. That would be absolutely amazing. Of course, both both factions getting involved, kind of feuding in the outside, whatever. But the match that I want is Bo Dallas versus Uncle Howdy for the Lantern. Or I'm sorry, Bo Dallas versus Solo Sikoa for the Lantern. That is what I want. I hope WWE gets it for us. Honestly, this is building into something that could potentially be a WrestleMania match. I would not be angry if we could figure out a way to stretch this along all the way to WrestleMania. Solo Sikoa versus Bo Dallas for Bray Wyatt's Lantern at WrestleMania. I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for that match. We also got a segment backstage where Tama Tonga goes up to Shinsuke Nakamura. He's like, I saw your match, dude. You lost. What's up with that? Maybe you should also retire with AJ Styles. We can call it the Sayonara Tour. Just poking at Shinsuke Nakamura, being like, I remember seeing you wrestle in years past. You used to be better than this. What happened to you? Right? Where did the old Shinsuke go? I like it. I like Tama Tonga poking at Shinsuke Nakamura. We're probably going to get some sort of feud between these two guys. I do ultimately want Tama Tonga to challenge and win the U.S. Championship. But a feud between these two guys, kind of just to get them warmed up, is not something I'm against. I think that these two guys would put on some great matches. So I think that's the direction WWE is going, and I do not hate it. There you have it. That's everything that happened at this week's Friday Night Smackdown. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed. Not the best Smackdown show, not the worst either. Was it good? No. Was it bad? No. Somewhere down the middle. 6 out of 10, maybe. I don't know. Right? If 5 is the middle, maybe a little bit better than the middle. But it was the go home episode for the Royal Rumble, so can't really build a lot of new stories because there's already stuff happening and there's stuff that's going to develop in the Rumble. If nothing else, I don't think that this got me more excited for the Rumble. Maybe it's because I'm already so excited for the Rumble, but if nothing else, this was just a nice little primer for tomorrow's show. This Royal Rumble, I have a feeling, and maybe it's because the Saudis always pay so much money for these kind of things, but I have a feeling that tomorrow's Royal Rumble is going to be exceptional. I feel like a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of stories are going to shift. We're going to see a lot of people returning. We're just going to turn things upside down, turn things on their head, and I have a feeling we have no idea what's happening at WrestleMania. I can't wait for this Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble is going to start. It's going to make that WrestleMania start taking shape. And I am so excited for it. Let me know in the comments who you think is winning. Check out my predictions videos. Check out my everyone's chances of winning the Royal Rumble videos. I feel like you're gonna like them. You're already here. You like wrestling. You like wrestling content. Come check out my other videos. Also, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to comment. Tell me who you think is winning at the Royal Rumble. I want to know who you think is winning. My winners, you're gonna have to go check out my video for that. But let me know who you think is winning. And as always, until next time, have a nice day.